At 6 p.m., the world slows down. But this is the hour when your inner world decides your future. Some people end their day tired. Some end it defeated. But a few end it stronger because they remember one truth: God never created you to lose. If God brought you this far today, through stress, pressure, silence, and struggle, then clearly your story is not over yet. Right now, take a breath. Forget the noise of the day. Forget who doubted you. Forget even who you were this morning. Because this moment, this evening, is not about motivation from outside. It is about alignment with God from inside. When your mindset aligns with God's wisdom, your fear becomes faith, your confusion becomes clarity, and your weakness turns into quiet strength. This speech is not here to excite you for 5 minutes. It is here to wake up the winner God already placed within you. Most of the time we think God is working only when something big happens. When doors open suddenly, when money comes, when problems disappear, when life feels smooth. But the deepest work of God does not happen in noise. It happens in silence. In the unseen moments of your daily life, God is shaping you in ways you cannot measure yet. Just like a seed planted in the soil, nothing looks impressive on the surface. Days pass, and the ground looks the same. But beneath that soil, life is forming. Roots are spreading. Strength is building. No applause, no proof, no signs, yet the process is real. This is exactly how God works with you. Think about your everyday routine. You wake up, do your work, handle responsibilities, face small frustrations, deal with people who may not understand you, and still keep going. It feels ordinary. Sometimes it feels pointless. You wonder, is anything changing? But God is present in those ordinary hours. When you choose patience instead of anger in traffic, when you stay honest even when no one is watching, when you continue doing your duty despite feeling tired. These moments are not small. They are silent prayers. They are invisible acts of strength. God notices what the world ignores. Silence often makes us uncomfortable. When there is no immediate result, we start doubting. We think silence means abandonment. But silence is not absence. Silence is preparation. When God is quiet, He is often working the deepest. Look at daily life again. A potter does not shout while shaping clay. A teacher does not announce every lesson a student learns. Growth happens quietly. Similarly, God reshapes your mindset, your character, your endurance without making noise about it. One day, you suddenly realize you are calmer than before, stronger than before, wiser than before. That did not happen overnight. That happened in silence. Consider the times when life slowed you down, a delay, a pause, a period where nothing moved forward. At that moment, you may have felt stuck. But later you realized that pause protected you. It taught you patience. It gave you clarity. God often uses stillness to teach lessons that speed never could. In daily life, we learn the most when we sit quietly with our thoughts, when we reflect after a hard day, when we listen more than we speak. That quiet is where God's guidance becomes clear. Even pain works silently. No one sees the internal battles you fight. No one sees the nights you stay strong instead of giving up. But God sees. And in that silent endurance, something powerful is formed. Your capacity to handle life expands. Your faith deepens. Your dependency on external approval reduces. You start trusting God more than circumstances. That is not weakness. That is inner victory. People often compare their lives to others. They see someone succeeding loudly and assume God is favoring them more. But God's work is personal, not public. Just because your journey is quiet does not mean it is less valuable. Some of the strongest rivers flow calmly. Some of the deepest oceans appear still on the surface. Your quiet progress may be preparing you for responsibilities you cannot imagine yet. In daily life, think of how muscles grow. Not during the workout, but during rest. The effort hurts, the rest feels unproductive. but growth happens there. Similarly, after you put effort into life, God uses your silent phases to rebuild you stronger. Rest, waiting, and patience are not wasted time. They are part of divine design. When you feel nothing is happening, remember this: God does not rush masterpieces. He shapes slowly so they last. Every quiet day you stay disciplined. Every moment you choose faith over fear. Every time you move forward without recognition, you are being prepared. One day, when results appear, people will call it luck or sudden success. But you will know the truth. It was God working silently, step by step, moment by moment, shaping you into someone ready to receive what you prayed for. So trust the silence. Respect the process. Keep showing up. Keep believing. God is not ignoring you. He is building you. Your mind is more than just a place where thoughts come and go. It is the sacred space where your future is decided, where your connection with God becomes visible in your life, where every choice of peace or worry, faith or fear, shapes the path you walk. Every day, your mind is like a garden, and what you plant there, thoughts of doubt, anger, fear or gratitude, faith, patience, and hope, determines whether that garden will flourish or wither. God gave you this mind not just to think, but to create, to dream, and to align yourself with the highest possibilities. Treat it as sacred, because it is the altar of your life. Look at the simple moments of your daily life. You wake up to the sound of your alarm. The first thought that comes is already planting a seed. If your mind starts the day with complaints, traffic, weather, the long list of responsibilities, you are already stepping into a mindset of resistance. But if your first thought is gratitude, thankfulness for waking up, for having another chance, for life itself, your entire day shifts. This is the power of a sacred mindset. The same day, the same people, the same challenges, but a different experience because your mind is tuned differently. God listens to these choices. The attitude you hold in silence is as important as the words you speak aloud. Every challenge you face is also a test of the sacredness of your mind. When someone speaks harshly to you, do absorb it, react immediately, and allow anger to grow? Or do you pause, breathe, and remind yourself that your mind is God's gift, not a place for resentment to dwell? Each moment you choose calm over chaos, faith over fear, patience over impatience, you are protecting a sacred space that God can fill with guidance and clarity. Just like a temple cannot house noise, your mind cannot host negativity if you are vigilant. It is not about suppressing emotions. It is about directing them consciously, understanding that your thoughts are the bridge between God's wisdom and your daily actions. In daily life, the sacredness of the mind shows itself in decisions, both big and small. At work, when someone takes credit for your effort or criticizes your ideas, your first instinct might be defensiveness. But a sacred mindset pauses. It chooses understanding, humility, and strategic patience. That small, conscious decision creates ripples. You not only protect your peace but also invite divine guidance. God responds to hearts that are steady, minds that are calm, and souls that are focused. You may not see the immediate reward, but every time you hold your mind sacred, the universe responds in kind. Opportunities that require clarity and focus gravitate toward those who guard their inner space. Even in relationships, the sacred mind becomes a sanctuary. Imagine listening to a loved one's complaint without immediately reacting, without judgment, without negativity. Instead, you respond with empathy, love, and understanding. That is not weakness. That is mastery of your mental space. It is the art of keeping your mind aligned with God's energy, calm, centered, and compassionate. Every word you speak, every action you take, flows from the garden you cultivate inside. When your mind is sacred, your words heal, your actions inspire, and your presence becomes a source of light in the lives of others. Daily habits also reflect the sacredness of your mindset. How often do you scroll through social media mindlessly, absorbing negativity, comparison, and distraction? Each time you allow your mind to be cluttered with useless noise, you slowly weaken its sacredness. But when you choose what you consume, books that inspire, content that teaches, conversations that uplift, you are intentionally tending to your inner garden. You are preparing your mind to be a home for God's wisdom, a vessel for clarity, and a place where creativity and faith can grow without interference. It is in these small, consistent choices that life shifts dramatically. Silence, reflection, and prayer, or even quiet moments of gratitude, are essential to maintaining a sacred mindset. In the rush of life, it is tempting to fill every moment with sound, with tasks, with activity. But just as a garden needs both sunlight and rest, your mind needs moments of stillness. When you pause at the end of the day, reflecting on what went well, forgiving what went wrong, and seeking clarity for tomorrow, you are strengthening the sacred space God entrusted to you. These moments are not wasted. They are investment, and the returns are life-changing clarity in decisions, strength in challenges, peace in chaos, and joy in simple moments. Finally, remember that your sacred mind is not a luxury. It is your responsibility. It determines how you perceive the world, how you respond to challenges, how you inspire others, and how you align yourself with God's plan. A mind filled with fear and resentment cannot receive guidance. A mind that is calm, focused, and grateful becomes a powerful magnet for miracles, opportunities, and success. Daily life is full of tests, small annoyances, stress, setbacks. But in every test, your sacred mindset is what allows you to remain victorious. It is the quiet power that turns ordinary days into extraordinary progress. So treat your mind as the sacred temple it is. Protect it from negativity, nurture it with positive thoughts, feed it with wisdom, rest it with silence, and fill it with gratitude. Every choice you make in thought, every moment you stay centered, is a prayer answered, a step toward God's guidance, a path toward the life you are destined to live. When your mind is sacred, the world around you cannot shake you. Challenges may come, noise may try to distract you, but your inner space remains untouched, filled with divine strength, clarity, and unstoppable energy. Your mindset is sacred. Guard it, grow it, align it. And watch as God turns your silent, protected thoughts into your loudest victories. Life has a strange way of testing our patience. We make plans, set goals, and work hard, yet sometimes it feels like nothing is moving. Opportunities don't come. Messages aren't answered. Projects stall. People seem to move ahead while we stay in the same place. In those moments, the human mind screams, "This is too late. God must have forgotten me. I've been delayed." But here's the truth: delay is not denial. God's timing is always perfect. What feels late to you is never late in God's eyes. Every pause, every setback, every waiting period is intentional, designed to prepare you for what is coming. Think about the simple things in life. A plant doesn't grow overnight. You water it, provide sunlight, care for it, yet nothing visible happens for days or even weeks. You could give up, thinking it's never going to grow. But if you keep nurturing it patiently, eventually it blossoms, often more beautifully than you imagined. Life works in the same way. The delays you experience are like that underground growth, preparing your character, strengthening your skills, and aligning circumstances so that when the right opportunity comes, it is perfect. Every person has faced moments where delays test their faith. Imagine you are waiting for a promotion, a project, or even a personal breakthrough. Every day, you see others succeed and feel discouraged. But delay is often God's way of ensuring that, when success comes, you are ready to handle it responsibly. If blessings or achievements arrive before you are ready, they could be wasted, misunderstood, or even taken away. God's delays are not punishments. They are protective measures, ensuring that what comes to you is not just immediate, but lasting and meaningful. Even in daily interactions, delays teach patience and perspective. Have you ever been stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting, or waiting in a long queue, frustrated and angry? If you look closely, these small delays often prevent bigger mistakes or give you time to prepare mentally for what comes next. Maybe if you had left earlier, you would have rushed, made an error, or faced a situation unprepared. God uses these everyday delays to show that timing matters more than speed. Life is not about rushing, it is about aligning your actions with the right moment. Delays also help refine our mindset. When we wait, we are forced to evaluate ourselves, to grow internally, to develop resilience. A student waiting for exam results, a professional waiting for a promotion, or an entrepreneur waiting for an idea to succeed. Every moment of waiting is an opportunity to improve. In silence and patience, God shapes your thoughts, skills, and strength. You become better equipped to handle the responsibility of the blessings you are waiting for. What is delayed is not lost. It is maturing in ways you cannot yet see. Sometimes delays redirect us towards something even better. In daily life, it's easy to cling to a plan and assume that a delay is a setback. But often, God is simply guiding you toward a greater opportunity. Maybe the job you were waiting for is not meant for you, and something bigger is being prepared. Maybe the relationship you long for will arrive when both hearts are ready. Maybe the financial breakthrough is delayed so that you develop the wisdom to manage it wisely. Delay is God's gentle way of saying, "Trust me, something greater is coming." Faith is what turns waiting into strength. When you experience delay, you can choose to be frustrated or to trust that God's plan is perfect. Faith transforms impatience into purpose. Consider the daily examples around you. A baker waits for the dough to rise. A writer waits for the right words. A parent waits for their child to grow. In each case, waiting is essential. Progress cannot be rushed. Growth cannot be forced. Every delay carries a hidden gift. A preparation, a lesson, a timing that aligns perfectly with the outcome you desire. Even personal growth follows this principle. You might be working hard to improve your mindset, your health, or your skills, but the results seem slow. Remember, delay is not denial. It is transformation in disguise. The skills you are developing, the patience you are cultivating, the wisdom you are gaining, they all need time to mature. God's delays are deliberate. They ensure that when the moment of breakthrough arrives, it is not temporary but enduring, not superficial but profound. So, when life seems slow, when progress is invisible, when people doubt or circumstances challenge you, remember this: God's timing is always perfect. Delay is never denial. It is preparation. It is protection. It is alignment. What you are waiting for is coming, not in haste, but in perfection. Your patience is your power, your trust is your shield, and your faith is the bridge to the miracle waiting for you. Daily life constantly reminds us of this principle. The traffic that makes you late, the conversation that is postponed, the job offer that is delayed, the recognition that takes time, all are tests of your faith in divine timing. Every delay is an opportunity to strengthen your trust in God, to refine your heart, and to grow into the person capable of receiving the blessings you seek. So embrace delay. Learn from it. Be grateful for it. And remember that God's timing is never wrong. What feels late today may become the exact right moment tomorrow. Delay is not denial. It is divine design. And those who understand this, who remain patient, faithful, and strong during waiting, will experience life-changing victories beyond imagination. Strength is not something we create from thin air. Strength is not simply the sum of our physical abilities, our willpower, or our knowledge. True strength comes from a source far greater than ourselves. It is borrowed from faith, the deep, quiet trust in God that lifts us when the world seems to push us down, the faith that allows us to keep moving even when everything inside us screams to stop. Every person who has achieved something extraordinary knows this. Whether they call it God, the universe, or a higher power, strength that endures comes from faith, not mere effort. Think about daily life for a moment. You wake up tired after a long night, your body heavy, your mind restless, yet you choose to show up. You face responsibilities you didn't ask for and challenges that seem unfair. You may not feel strong, but you act anyway. Where does that strength come from? It comes from faith, the silent whisper in your heart that says, I am not alone, God is with me, I can do this. That faith transforms ordinary endurance into extraordinary resilience. It turns exhaustion into perseverance, fear into courage, and doubt into determination. Even the smallest tasks in daily life are opportunities to borrow strength from faith. Preparing a meal for your family after a long day may seem simple, yet it becomes an act of devotion, a reflection of trust that God will give you the energy to care for those you love. Helping someone in need, listening patiently to a friend's problems, finishing a task that seems overwhelming, all of these moments test the limits of human strength. But when you draw from faith, these actions no longer feel like burdens. They become expressions of divine support working through you. Faith also becomes the source of strength when life throws unexpected storms. Imagine facing a sudden financial challenge, a difficult conversation, or a personal loss. On your own, your energy and courage might feel insufficient. You might wonder how you will survive or even manage a single step forward. But faith reminds you that God's power is greater than any problem. Strength borrowed from God doesn't just keep you standing, it allows you to rise, to act decisively, and to face the storm with a calm heart. It turns obstacles into lessons, pressure into preparation, and struggles into triumphs. Consider the example of parents. Raising children is one of life's toughest responsibilities. There are nights of sleeplessness, days of worry, and moments when nothing seems to go right. Parents often feel drained, defeated, or incapable. Yet they continue. Where does this strength come from? Faith. Faith in their ability to care. Faith in God to guide them. Faith that their efforts matter even when results are slow. That faith becomes the invisible force that allows them to keep going, to protect, to nurture, and to inspire the next generation. Faith is also reflected in the workplace. A person may face criticism, rejection, or failure. The mind might tell them they are not enough, that their skills are inadequate, that success is impossible. But faith whispers, you are never alone. God is guiding your steps. That belief fuels courage to try again, creativity to solve problems, patience to endure, and determination to keep moving. Every great achievement begins with ordinary people tapping into extraordinary strength through faith. Even in personal growth, strength borrowed from faith plays a vital role. Learning new skills, breaking old habits, or stepping out of comfort zones can be exhausting and frightening. Without faith, the human mind can easily give up, overwhelmed by the challenge. But when you anchor yourself in God's support, you find strength that feels limitless. You realize that obstacles are not walls, they are tests. You realize that setbacks are not failures, they are lessons. You begin to trust that God's guidance is greater than your fear. And suddenly, what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. Faith also changes the way you handle pain and disappointment. Life will inevitably bring moments that seem unfair, moments that could break the spirit if left to human strength alone. But faith transforms suffering into endurance. It allows you to face loss without losing hope, to navigate heartbreak without losing purpose, and to confront failure without losing belief in yourself. Strength borrowed from faith is quiet yet unwavering. It is not loud or boastful, but it is persistent. It does not seek recognition, it simply empowers action, courage, and resilience in the everyday moments of life. Look around you. Every person who inspires, every story of triumph, every act of courage is a reflection of this principle. They are not superhuman. They are human, just like you. The difference is that they understood that strength alone is limited. They learned to borrow from faith, to let God's wisdom, guidance, and power flow through them, turning ordinary effort into extraordinary results. So, when life feels heavy, when your body says no, when your mind is overwhelmed, and when the world seems impossible, remember this: strength is borrowed from faith. It is not a magic trick. It is not something you can summon at will. It is a conscious choice to trust God's power, to lean on divine support, and to allow that energy to flow through you. Faith transforms ordinary people into warriors, ordinary moments into victories, and ordinary days into steps toward destiny. Every time you wake up tired and still push forward, every time you face challenges you don't feel ready for, every time you act with love, patience, or courage despite your fears, you are borrowing strength from faith. That strength will never fail, because it does not come from you. It comes from God working through you. And those who understand this live not by their own limitations, but by the boundless power of faith. Life is not meant to be easy. It is not meant to hand us victory without effort, or happiness without growth, or success without learning. Every challenge you face, every obstacle that blocks your path, every difficult moment in your day is a divine training ground. God does not place challenges in your life to break you, to punish you, or to make you suffer without reason. Challenges exist to reveal the power, resilience, and greatness already within you. They are not obstacles. They are opportunities in disguise, designed to stretch you, to strengthen you, and to prepare you for the life you are destined to live. Think about your daily routine. You wake up, and life already presents small tests. The traffic is heavier than expected. A project at work is more complicated than it should be. A conversation with a loved one becomes tense. Even the simplest day is full of moments that could provoke frustration, impatience, or despair. But each of these moments is a chance to train your mind, your heart, and your spirit. Each challenge is a divine lesson in patience, perseverance, and perspective. Every time you choose to respond with calm wisdom and faith, you are growing stronger, because God is shaping you through these experiences. Challenges are also the proving ground for your character. Imagine a person who never faces difficulties. They might appear content, but their strength, patience, and courage remain untested. True growth only comes when you are put to the test. Daily life is full of such moments: waiting in long lines, dealing with difficult colleagues, managing household responsibilities, or facing unexpected setbacks. These experiences are training grounds where your patience is refined, your determination is sharpened, and your faith is strengthened. God places you here intentionally, knowing that each test will prepare you for greater responsibilities ahead. Even failure itself is a teacher. When you stumble, when a plan doesn't work, or when life seems to deny you, these are the moments that reveal what is already inside you and what still needs to grow. In these moments, your response matters more than the outcome. Do you give up or do you rise again? Do you blame others or do you seek lessons? Do you let fear take control or do you lean into faith? Every challenge is a mirror reflecting your potential, and every obstacle is a coach pushing you toward greatness. Look at the everyday examples around you. A student struggling to pass a difficult exam might feel hopeless, but every hour of study, every mistake, Every moment of perseverance is a divine training session. A parent facing the demands of children and work may feel exhausted, yet each challenge strengthens patience, problem solving skills, and compassion. A professional navigating conflicts at work may feel stressed, yet every challenge teaches negotiation, empathy, and resilience. Life's difficulties are not meaningless. They are the gym where God strengthens your mind, heart, and spirit. Challenges also cultivate creativity. When life pushes you to a corner, when a solution seems impossible, your mind is forced to find new ways forward. God uses difficulties to expand your thinking, to develop resilience, and to ignite innovation. Think about someone learning a new skill or starting a new project. Problems will inevitably arise, deadlines will seem impossible, and mistakes will happen. Yet in those moments, your mind becomes a training ground for problem solving. Each difficulty sharpens your skills and increases your confidence, preparing you for challenges that are even greater. Even pain, disappointment, and struggle have a divine purpose. When a relationship fails, when health falters, or when financial stress arrives, it is not to destroy you, it is to teach you. Challenges teach empathy, courage, self-reliance, and faith. They remind you that you are capable of handling more than you imagined. Each test prepares you for the next level of life. In daily life, you may notice this in the quiet victories, staying composed during conflict, helping someone while overwhelmed yourself, finding solutions when none seem to exist. Every small victory over hardship is proof that you are training to become stronger, wiser, and more aligned with God's plan. Faith transforms challenges into opportunities. Without faith, challenges can feel crushing, unfair, and unbearable. With faith, the same challenges become invitations to grow, chances to strengthen your spirit, and proof of God's unseen guidance. Every difficult moment carries a lesson, and every struggle carries hidden blessings. Challenges are not obstacles, they are stepping stones. God's intention is not for you to avoid struggle, but to navigate it with grace, courage, and trust, knowing that each step forward is progress, even if invisible in the moment. So when life seems hard, when problems pile up, and when your patience is tested, remember this: challenges are divine training grounds. God is not trying to break you, He is trying to build you. Every test, every setback, every moment of difficulty is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, more resilient person. Every challenge is a chance to grow, to trust, and to align yourself with your higher purpose. Embrace these moments, face them with courage. Lean on God's guidance, learn from them, and know that the strength, wisdom, and resilience you gain from every challenge will prepare you for the victories, opportunities, and blessings that are already waiting for you. Life is not meant to be easy, but it is meant to be powerful. And every challenge is God's way of saying, you are capable, you are growing, you are ready. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in life, yet it is often overlooked. Many people wait for success, wealth, or recognition to feel thankful. But the truth is the opposite. Gratitude is what brings blessings into your life, not what follows them. When you choose to notice the good in your life, no matter how small, when you thank God for what you already have, you create a magnetic energy that attracts more positivity, abundance, and peace. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a practice, a mindset, and a way of aligning yourself with God's infinite provision. Think about your daily life. You wake up and see the sun streaming through the window. Most people ignore it. They rush through breakfast, check their phones, and rush into the chaos of the day. But what if, in that very moment, you paused and thought, "Thank you, God, for giving me another day, for this breath, for the chance to try again." That single thought transforms your entire day. Your mind becomes lighter, your heart opens, your perspective changes. Gratitude multiplies blessings because it shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present, and the universe responds to the energy you radiate. Even small acts of thankfulness in daily life have a ripple effect. Imagine holding the door open for someone, offering a kind word, or expressing appreciation for a colleague's effort. These acts of gratitude do not just make others feel valued, they remind you of the goodness around you. A simple thank you, spoken sincerely, is like planting seeds of positivity that grow over time. The more you practice noticing what is good, the more your life feels abundant, and the more God's blessings seem to flow effortlessly. Gratitude is especially powerful during challenges. Life does not always give us what we want when we want it. There are delays, disappointments, and difficult moments that can make you feel frustrated or defeated. But even in these times, you can find something to be thankful for. Perhaps it is the lesson you are learning, the strength you are gaining, or the presence of a friend or family member who supports you. Every time you choose gratitude instead of bitterness, you are multiplying blessings. You are sending a signal to God and to the universe that you are ready to receive more, because you already recognize the good that is present. Consider daily examples in families. Parents who feel overwhelmed by responsibilities often forget to acknowledge the small joys: a child's smile, a shared meal, or a moment of laughter. But when they consciously pause to feel grateful, their stress diminishes, their patience grows, and the love in their home multiplies. Gratitude does not erase challenges, but it gives you the strength to face them, the clarity to solve them, and the peace to enjoy life despite them. Workplaces offer another example. An employee may feel unnoticed or underappreciated. It is easy to focus on what is lacking: recognition, promotion, or praise. But choosing gratitude, thanking colleagues for their support, appreciating small successes, or feeling thankful for the opportunity to learn, changes the energy entirely. Gratitude opens doors to better collaboration, new ideas, and even unexpected opportunities. God responds to hearts that are thankful, and blessings often arrive when you least expect them, multiplied beyond imagination. Even in personal growth, gratitude is transformative. You may struggle with health, finances, or relationships, but if you take a moment to be thankful for the progress you've already made, the skills you've developed, and the lessons you've learned, you invite more growth. Gratitude allows you to see possibilities instead of limitations. It turns fear into hope, frustration into patience, and scarcity into abundance. Every moment of appreciation expands your capacity to receive more of God's blessings. Gratitude also strengthens faith. When you are thankful for what you already have, it becomes easier to trust that God will provide what you need next. Life becomes less about anxiety and more about expectation. Even small daily practices, writing down 3 things you are grateful for, pausing before meals to reflect, or expressing thanks to people around you, can create a shift in your perspective that attracts more positivity and abundance. It is like a magnet. The more you appreciate, the more life gives you reasons to be grateful. In daily life, gratitude is not passive. It is active, intentional, and powerful. It changes the way you speak, the way you act, and the way you perceive your circumstances. The simple act of saying thank you transforms ordinary moments into divine experiences. It transforms complaints into opportunities, scarcity into abundance, and ordinary days into blessings. When you live with gratitude, you are essentially acknowledging that God is present in every detail of your life, and this acknowledgement multiplies every blessing exponentially. So, make gratitude a daily habit. Notice the small things: the warmth of the sun, the kindness of a stranger, the laughter of a loved one, the food on your table, the roof over your head, the air you breathe. Thank God for them. Feel the appreciation deeply. Let it fill your heart. Gratitude multiplies blessings because it shifts your focus, aligns your energy with abundance, and opens the door for even greater gifts. Life may not always be perfect, but when you practice gratitude, it becomes profoundly rich, meaningful, and full of divine favor. Gratitude is not just a reaction to blessings, it is the reason blessings multiply. Every day, in every moment, you have the choice to see what you have, to thank God for it, and to open yourself to receive more. This is the secret of a life overflowing with joy, peace, and success. Gratitude is a powerful reminder that life is never empty when you choose to notice the fullness that surrounds you.